Switching over to the WNBA talk. Can, First and foremost, do you believe that the Liberty repeat as champions?
Yes. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can. I think that's been on there. It's I know the Lynx. The Lynx are doing their thing. I actually was kind of sleeping on the Lynx. I didn't really like that. Oh, and funny enough, it's kind of worked out for the better. But I thought they should have went after Jewel Lloyd.
Okay.
Because in that finals series, uh, that last game, Courtney Williams got cold. They locked up Kayla McBride. She had a hot first half and she was quiet that second half. Fee, she can't do everything. You need your role players to step up, and
Yeah.
so I felt like all they needed was another shot creator, just an extra girl to get in her bag a little bit and get keep the Liberty defense moving and whatnot. But they're doing their thing. But I like what the Liberty have. I think getting Natasha Cloud was a huge pickup, huge pickup. So yeah, I think they have it in them. I think they have it in them.
You know, I have two new Liberty fans in my house.
Nice.
My wife's job as because one thing I will say about the teams that inhabit the Barclays Center, even though I'm quite sure everybody knows about my feelings about the gentrification nets, but one thing about the teams that inhabit that Barclays Center, they do a lot of community outreach. So the Liberty kind of has somewhat of a good relationship with my wife's. My wife's first for a charter school, so they have a good relationship with the charter school, whatever. So they came to the school multiple times, had
Oh, that's dope.
workshops, and everything. And then I think toward the end of the year, they invited because my wife worked at an old girls' school, so they
Mm,
invited them to the game or whatever, and then had tickets or whatever. So my wife went to a game with my daughter, with my youngest daughter, Main Event K, and and like my wife is not really a sports person per se, but she said she really enjoyed herself. So
that's awesome.
so
They got
the
the best
W
mascot in the league too. So
yeah, the W made a sports fan, a basketball fan of my wife. My wife was like, what, I would be willing to go again. And I can't get her to go to a baseball game or a football game, but she's
ha,
willing to go to a Liberty game. And
that's awesome.
like I've rocked with the Liberty since she, the original Liberty,
Mm,
Teaspoon was there. So
mm.
even though I might not be that engrossed in the W, but at the same time, that's still home team, and and I keep abreast of what's going on. So, but yeah, I was happy that they won. I didn't go to the parade because I was like, look, I'm not gonna be a fraud. Meaning, okay, I like the Liberty. I'm a fan of Liberty. I'm a fan of the W, but I'm not hardcore. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to the parade. Plus, I can't go to I can't go to a parade until one of my main teams give a parade. I've never gone to a
Mm.
parade
Oh, okay.
because none of my teams, the Mets, are the only team that's won a championship since I've been born, and I was 10 when they would when, so I couldn't go to the parade. I
Hmm.
just knew we was gonna go to the parade this year. I knew the Knicks were gonna get to the parade, but that didn't happen. If the Jets ever win, oh my God, sure. I listen. No, I'm not breaking my vow of no alcohol or nothing, but still, it's gonna be tempting. But but yeah, but so I was like, you know what? Until one of my main squeezes get it, I'll say this though: for all the years in the history of the Liberty, especially when they first came into league and the times they got to the finals and they just came up short, got knocked out by the Comets and Cynthia Cooper and them. I'm so happy they was finally able to do the damn thing.
Yeah.
So that was a plus. And hump with that off their back, that's why I don't see any problem with them repeating. Because it's like, even though this collection didn't have to deal with the history of the Liberty, it's just like at the same time they got the confidence. Like, yo, we just won. We went to
Hmm.
back-to-back finals. We won
Straight
one.
up.
We lost one. Shoot, all the other teams ain't what they used to be, except for maybe This one right here.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
yeah, she a problem.
They
She a
sleep.
problem.
A lot of people I felt like they put the Indiana Fever on this mediocre thing, and yes, they started out that way. And obviously, Caitlin Clark, she was out the lineup a few times. She'd been out the lineup, so yeah, obviously that's gonna show in their record. But I knew it day one. I'm like, I don't think people understand what kind of team they got over there. Like, they gonna be a problem for some years to come.
Yeah, because they did what any competent franchise should do. It's like, all right, we got this star, not budding star. We got this star,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to maximize our opportunity right now. We're going to put all the pieces we need to surround her so she can be the best version of her, and she can amplify everybody around her. We're going to give her better coaching. We're going to give her a veteran presence. We're going to give her some toughness so she don't got to worry about, all right, you stand up for yourself. Somebody got your back.
Yep.
You know, they put everything around her. So they might not get it this year. And of course, because I'm rooting for the Liberty, I don't want them to get it this year. But best believe in the next 3 years, if they can't continue on this pattern, she gonna get a chip.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get a chip.
Mm-hmm.
That leads into favorite player right now in the W.
Does it just have to be one? Can I give you four?
Yeah,
or maybe like
yeah,
a top four?
Yeah.
Okay. So I gotta go Sky Dig. Dig.
Yeah.
I've been rocking with Sky Dig since Notre Dame. She had me as a high school freshman already trying to get to, when my hoop dreams and stuff were still alive. She had me. I had a quick phase where I wanted to go to Notre Dame. Cause I loved how they played. They had such scrappiness to them. They have great history, great culture. Sky, she was really, especially back then, she's shown it in the WNBA kind of on and off, but she had a heck of a knack to get steals. And I'm a defense guy, so I loved watching her do that. So yeah, I've been a fan of Sky Dig for a long time. Then like I said, I go Natasha Cloud. I mean, you talk about the absolute teammate you want to play with, the absolute person you would want in your corner. She locks up. Great leader, great floor general. Isn't for the bull, like you just said, she'll stick up for her teammates, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just love everything about T Cloud. Then I'll go Nafisa Collier. I like Nafisa Collier. Obviously she's a lot like, I think I see a lot of myself in her because she always goes to the post. Like, my homies make fun of me all the time. Because when we hoop, they know I'm going to my Kobe post fade and stuff like that. And mind you, I'm not a tall dude. I am 5'8", so like I'm a tiny, like, I don't know how people see it, with the podcast and everything, but I'm not the biggest guy. Like, if you saw me in person, I'm not the biggest dude.
I thought just by the stature from here up, I was like, yeah, he probably about 6'1".
No, it's easy to have a 6'1" confidence on camera, but I am not the biggest dude at all. So it's always funny. Like, they always know, like, Dez going to his fade, he going to his drifter, and it works. It works, But I think Nafisa is the same way. She always going to the post. She said it numerous times in Unrivaled. She was like, all I got to do is get to my spot, and it's over. And I love that about her game. She's a great defender. One of the best players in the league right now. She's tearing it up. I love her game. And then lastly, obviously I gotta go hometown. I gotta go Angel Reese. I had a post last year. I had an episode talking about the WNBA, and I had a post that was at the peak. And oh my gosh, I hated it, but it was at the peak. It was at the peak of the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark stuff.
Okay.
And mind you, Mike, a lot of my stuff, if it goes quote unquote viral, if it gets any taste of virality, it's going to be TikTok and maybe YouTube Shorts. Yeah. But this one went crazy on Twitter, so I knew already off rip it was a different kind of thing. Man, all I did, mind you, Mike, my platform, I was showing love. I was showing love to Angel Reese, and I compared her to Candace. I said, I think if she when she really develops her game, she's gonna be as versatile as Candace, but she's gonna have like that Rebecca Brunson type rebounding skill. Okay. And mind you, Now that's kind of aged pretty well. I was wrong about her being a shot blocker. I thought, given some of the stuff I saw at LSU, I was hoping that she would turn it a little bit more into a interior defender. But outside of that, she's been good. The jump shot has gotten a little better. She's gotten more confident around the basket, but I think even more so, they're not sticking her in the post. She's bringing the ball up. She's operating as more of a point forward, and it suits her better. And I think that's the kind of player she was in high school. There was that clip of her like in high school. She was saying, "I like getting my teammates involved." Now the Sky have finally kind of figured that out, and she's really a versatile presence. So, she's definitely one of my favorites to watch as well.
Is she one of those players that got to get a running start to the basket? Because
I think so.
because which go I swear offline, well off camera, I crack so many jokes.
Yeah.
Um, because I don't know, I just feel like being a troll when it comes to that. But um, it just seems like because what you just mentioned, I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Because it seems like her being in the post and having to, it's like that doesn't really. You would think that fits her, but that doesn't fit her. Like she
Yeah.
needs to drive.
Yeah.
And
She's great. Yup, she's great off the catch, jab step. I'm by you, straight to the lane. She's good in the post when she's patient. I'll give her that. When she's patient, she's great. But when
Yeah.
she's rushing, it looks bad. But she's kind of found a middle ground.
Because
What?
you've seen some of those clips on TikTok, with the me bounds and
Yeah.
I would go. I listen. I give a props like oh, y'all gonna troll me? Guess what? I'm gonna make some bread off this troll.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
How about that? I'm like, you know what? Salute to you. Yeah, make them eat it. Make them eat it. Like, all
Mhm.
right, yeah, you had fun, but you just put money in my pocket. Thanks for the idea. Good luck.
Yep. Straight up. Straight up. How would you answer it though, Mike? Who your favorite team? Or you said the Liberty, but who's your favorite player right now?
Um, I've always all right. I've always been because this goes back. I've always been partial to Sky Dig from Notre Dame.
Mhm.
Somebody's mentioned this, and it's so true. If social media was back back then, what it is now,
Oh.
when she was
And
coming out,
it kind of was. She just didn't get the NIL.
but yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's
Yeah.
the whole combo with everything. The way
Yeah.
they're able to do it now. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of other things that go along with it, but maybe she would have had that same impact coming in as Caitlin and which Gordon and Angel came in.
Mhm.
Now, my second, and this is based on I really like them as a human being. Um, and they're nice too, but I can't say I'm totally locked in on their game, but they was in college long enough that I'm been very aware. Paige Breckers,
Oh, how did I forget Paige? Yup. She tearing
like
it up right now.
I just before she even got into the league, just the more that I heard her talk and really put herself out there, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, yeah,
She
I
do
F with
everything
you.
right. She do
Yeah.
everything right.
Um, and I would go. I'll just leave it to those two right now. Um, I like Stewie.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I which God I did like back in the day. Maya Moore was a monster.
Oh, Maya was cold. And see, if we going back in the day, Tamika she was
Oh,
mine, man. She was cold. She was cold
yeah,
on defense.
yeah. So
But oh
those
my
like
gosh, how we not even say Asia Wilson? How did I not include Asia Wilson? I'm
see
tripping.
see yeah, but to be honest, like I said, I watch what I watch, so I can't really say I watch so much of her games that I'm like, yo, that's I don't know. It's like I said with Sky is based on college, like, and I followed her.
Yeah.
With Paige is based on college and also just interviews. Like, you know what? I'm interested in her story. I like her back, like what's going on there, like social
Hmm.
wise or whatever. Plus, she's nice, you
Yeah.
know. But with Asia, like, I guess because like it's just like okay, yeah. When I'm watching her. I'm watching it against Liberty, and I want them to beat her. So I'm like,
Oh, I understand.
you know, like, don't get me wrong, she got game, but it's like, I'm not really watching you. Like, damn, yo, Stu, you can't handle that. You can't handle that. Nah, you can't handle that. I get. That's why she got a shoe and you don't.
It makes sense.
You know, but yeah, but yeah. So I would just leave it down to them.
Okay.
Last but not least, before we wrap this up, is a new segment. Something that just came to my mind when I was doing my little 4.5 mile walk, and I was like, you know what, this would be interesting just to go off the beaten path, because sometimes, as much as I love talking about sports, I always gotta do something just a little bit different. But I gotta keep myself in a respectful mind, because like I love when this brother does album breakdowns.
Oh,
He did an album breakdown for the Wu-Tang Into the 36 Chambers, right? And he's breaking down songs, breaking down Cream, Mystery Chess Boxing, the whole nine, you know. And he let it be known up front, like, listen, I know the lyrics say this, as in, but because I'm going to, and you know what I'm talking about, but all because they said it don't mean I gotta repeat it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I'm gonna hold myself to a certain standard that I'm not compromising that just to get some content. We're gonna do the best of both worlds. So with that being said, and sometimes I had to check myself sometimes, because I'm like, you know, on camera, like I've cut down the amount of cursing that I've had in real life, in like probably 75% of my real life. Like, I don't. But then when I get on camera and get animated and everything, it comes out, and I'm like, and I'll listen. I'm like, come on, Mike, you don't even really be doing all that when, you know. So I say all that to say, listen, I know how Brother Powell, you know, is built and does. So as y'all notice, not one F-bomb, because that would be disrespectful to my host, and plus I'm trying to build myself back the way I had myself taken care of. But I say
respect
to say that even with that being said, I still got